everyone. Welcome to the Matrix Groove Show. We've got a Where We Go One, We Go All Friday. And, you know, it's not just Where We Go One, We Go All, just here. It's worldwide. It's global, folks. And you're part of it. So Where We Go One, We Go All worldwide. And also why we call it Where We Go One, We Go All Friday is because, you know, Shady and I invite guests. But let's get my partner in justice, Shady Groove, in here to kind of set it up. Come on, Shady.
Hello, hello. I hope everyone is doing well. And it's Friday, another week of winning in the books. Everybody out there, much, much love. I hope you enjoyed the program last night. We had a great time last night with Brad and Mike and Liz. If you guys didn't see it, that was an awesome show. And happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. That was a great show. Awake did a great job with the question and answer. We just kind of rode along for the ride. It worked really nice, man. I think she did a great job, Shady.
I think she did an excellent job, and I really just appreciate all of the love and support that comes from you guys out there. Whenever we bring people here, you guys make them feel at home, make them feel loved, and are interactive, and it really is just a special environment we get here.
It sure is, man, and that's why we have a Where We Go One, We Go All Friday. Let's bring them in one by one, Shady. Who do you want to bring in first? Because we got, more than one person, or more than the normal gang here today, but let's bring in our normal gang, Shady. Go ahead.
It's ladies first. So first, I'd like to introduce Carly Bonet. Carly.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's my girl.
The Carly Bonet. She's a fabulous. She's a rock star on Twitter. She's on the front lines every day. Pretty much, I look at it as like 150 tweets in the last hour. You got to keep up with Carly, but you don't miss a thing. You do not miss a thing on Carly's timeline. Carly, that's really respect. You're kicking it.
Thanks for joining us, Carla. We also have the JT Wild in the house. JT, get over here.
JT What's happening?
Let me get my hands on you.
Oh, baby, I wish I could. I love you, man. I miss you so much. Yeah, Carly is a rock star. She, I can't wait till Fox News or OAN or somebody has her a little segment or something every week or day. That would be so awesome.
And then she can have us on for guest, JT, right?
Oh, no, exactly. You won't have us on.
I'm there, dude. I want to be Carly's. All of us need to be Carly's first guest.
JT since his birthday?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know, but that was pretty awesome.
That is interesting. We got somebody else too here
talking about it.
That's with us, guys. Because this is Where We Go One, We Go All Friday. Welcome, LK Dark to Light. Come on in. Say hello.
LK,
hey everyone. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Thanks, Matrix, for just sending me a surprise invite.
Yeah, it's Where We Go One, We Go All Friday. I could tell you had a little time, so let's just spend a little time. By the way, we are waiting for POTUS right now. He will be live. Special surprise 1 p.m. briefing, but he's a lot like in the Matrix. He's fashionably late a lot, isn't he?
The party doesn't begin until he shows up.
That's right.
That's a good point.
So we are keeping an eye on that, and we'll watch it together. But LK, kind of pretty interesting about what happened. I left a comment over on Serial Brain. My first comment ever on Reddit. I mean, I've had Reddit for a while, but I've never really messed with it. And this was one of the comments, but there was a comment. If I open that up, is that the other comment? Oh, view all comments, because there's one above this one, right? Oh, it's mine. It just, how do I get to that? Let me see. If I view all comments, no. So let me just go back. So anyways, this is the second reply that we got, and I think it's pretty interesting. You kind of threw it over my way yesterday. LK, do you want to kind of go through some of this? Because first of all, I said we see it, where we go one, we go all, right?
Yeah, so I just thought it was really interesting the way
he said, keep up the good work, Matrix. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, so he left out a missing X, and the original comment he left you, I never noticed that. But it was interesting. So if you look at the links, we warned them again and again. It seems like he's using this comment board to kind of warn them, and we know how we're being targeted online, how they're targeting your streams and everything.
Mm-hmm. And people around me,
Yeah. Spiritually and everything. So just it seemed interesting the way he worded everything here.
So if we click on one of these, right? So should we click on, How do you want to go through this? Because we kind of went through it. I didn't totally. So this is we warned them, and then it links to this right here. This is electromagnetic attacks, waves, ancient Egyptian tech. This was a decode back in March of 2019. And I was in it. Kind of weird, right? I was also on the first decode where it said Democrat Party or something like that because the playbook, right? We did that. But this was interesting because he kind of freaked me out because you're looking at it and you see powerful testimony surviving electronic harassment, Y2K, gang stalking from ex-military engineer. That was, I think, then the microwaves in Cuba on U.S. diplomats, and then Q2468. Why do the attacks come in waves? You know, we kind of DARPA comes in waves. Remember the waves on there? Third wave. Q776 Anon safe. Q said yes, and then has the armor of God from Q1432 highlighted. Be strong in the Lord and full armor of God, and then order shoot weaponized electromagnetic waves at online Trump supporters. Discoveries must be original or originate organically. Hive mind Q. Pretty interesting, huh? That one freaked me out actually. Let me just to be full disclosure. What if people are getting electromagnetic waves? And that happens. That can happen. And then this one, the 93 family and Comey, right? This is interesting.
So if you look at the clock on the right there, right, at 6 o'clock, on the left you get 9, and on the right you get 3, so 93. Now, read the last paragraph in the decoded message.
When he has a question and looks for answers, he praises with his family tree with carefully chosen pictures, codes. His full name standing next to a Y in the timestamp delta, and finishes off praising song with 93 decoded in the second timestamp. Well, it's pretty interesting, James, but Q reminds you 6 o'clock can be dangerous. The reason is that it crucifies 93 worshippers. So is he kind of hat tipping for Pesur and the family? Because we think he's a Merovingian, a Kome, a warrior.
Well, it just seemed interesting how he used your comment to set all this up.
Shady.
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking about this? Pretty interesting, huh? And
very interesting.
We haven't really looked at it yet. This is my first time really looking at it, so.
Yeah, I just saw it last night too, so this is kind of.
But I wanted to share it with you guys because it's interesting, right? Then we've got
Serial Brain going through any of Comey's new Instagram pictures. Like he had the pan full of rolls or buns, he called them. But it's like, does it mean like he's gonna roll?
Yeah,
that's what I got from it.
They're communicating, yeah.
Yeah. I made an update video. He will be starting the next phase of his whole decode soon.
Yeah, awesome. LK, drop that into DM real quick. And then this is the bloodbath. So it's weird. So let's go back to the decode. It says, we warned them again and again, but they don't listen. Did we miss don't listen? Yeah, we did. Let me see. Oh, it came to Q post 4026. Let me grab that. Here it is. This one takes forever. Did you have that offhand? Where did we have that? The 4026? Hang on, let me go to Discord. Okay. Okay, anything saying? Anything there? You figure anything out yet?
Oh, you want me to get you 20 or 4026?
Yeah, yeah, and then while we're doing that, let's go back and look at instead they mess with our chicken orders. Phyllis George's children share memories on social media after a mother's death. Oh, that's weird, right? Phyllis George's children share memories on social media. Phyllis George, wow. You guys remember her, huh? Hello? There's a full decode in here, guys. at that picture there. Weird. Look where it says John Y. Brown Jr. See that? And then this blood oath for a soul contract. That's the one with Nancy standing there, talking about our president. I think, is this the one where it was hydroxychloroquine and Trump's weight?
He's
See
obese.
that?
So everyone knows Trump is an obese. So is this like calm saying like, is he, we got to stop him throwing his weight around? You know what I mean?
And it would save them from the flood. So blood oath or a soul contract would save them from the flood. So because they're attacking hydroxychloroquine, they're sticking with the blood money of the pharmaceutical industry. The vaccine part would save them from the flood. And Morning Mika, as at what point is Twitter a part of this? Take down Trump's account. The world be safer.
Now, remember, he also made fun of her about her face bleeding from a facelift.
Oh my gosh, I do, yeah.
Yeah, bleeding badly from a facelift, yeah.
All right, so then here's where you get this, LK. The one eye, right? The wink after the... So Matrix breaks down to a 6 because he took off one X. Who solved the Y, the missing X, and the blink?
Yeah, and full reduction, X equals 24, and full reduction, that equals 6.
Okay. And then D5. Oh, look at this. It's a chess move, guys. And POTUS and Q have been talking about... Well, Q's been talking about chess. So this is the D5 move. This is interesting. And then does it look like that the queen is Pelosi? Because
Mortal Queen, man.
Pointing to Pelosi, right? So that's the D5 chess move.
It's interesting too. So the last part of it, or sorry, let's go to Snowden next. My bad. Skipping ahead.
Yep, go ahead. So keep going. This one, thank you, Snowden. We click that. And it said, learn chess. And it goes to, I'm a great friend of the admirer of the Queen and the United Kingdom. It was reported that Harry and Meghan, who left the kingdom, would reside permanently in Canada. Now, they have left Canada for the U.S. However, the U.S. will not pay for their security protection. They must pay. And then this one says, so what we just read is Q959, thank you at Snowden, learn chess. Down she goes. Nobody escapes this. Nobody. Q. Putin, thank you for the soccer ball. Your move.
Russia and us have developed very good relationship. As you know, we worked on the oil problem together. I think we have a very good relationship with Russia, but Russia didn't adhere to the treaty. So until they adhere, we will pull out. But there's a very good chance we'll make a new agreement or do something to put that agreement back together. But whenever there's an agreement that another party doesn't agree to, we have many of those agreements around the world where it's a two-party agreement, but they don't adhere to it, and we do. When we have things like that, we pull out also. That's why with the arms treaties, if you look at the arms treaties, we're probably going to make a deal with Russia on arms treaty, and China will be maybe included in that. We'll see what happens. But we have a lot of things. But when we have an agreement, when we have a treaty, and the other side doesn't adhere to it, in many cases they're old treaties, old agreements, then we pull out also. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to pull out, and they're going to come back and want to make a deal. We've had a very good relationship lately with Russia, and you can see that with respect to oil and what's happening with oil.
So the ball's in their court.
Yep.
And so we've got the one eye closed and the other open. So is that the Illuminati symbolism? The one eye closed, and we're waking people up. We got to wake up. We got to keep waking up. Yeah, pretty interesting. Yes, keep up the good work. So I just wanted to share that with you. LK brought that to my attention. I think that's pretty interesting. So thanks, LK, for that.
Yeah.
And then you've got... There we go. Reconnection successful. Here we go. Is that the ad? Yeah. There we go.
am really excited for this next part we are entering, or as SEALBrain 2 has called it, Phase 2. I feel so blessed to be in this position I'm in, to be the main channel for the new people searching for the breathtaking works of SEALBrain 2, and turn them into cinematic experiences to be enjoyed by thousands. I realize the responsibility this is, and it won't be easy, but I am so honored. Now when SEALBrain 2 is back at it full force, if he sets a pace I can't keep up with, it's possible I might not get to some. I won't sacrifice quality for quantity. I won't put out a video I'm not happy with. I of course will keep everyone updated regularly on the community page. Speaking of the community page, on there I want to give shoutouts to channels who are considerably smaller than me. I remember the grind early on, and how difficult it is to grow with all the censorship. I will give shoutouts to people who I see are putting real passion and hard work into their channel. I want to do my part in uniting as many people as possible. This is what Matrix and Shady did for me months ago, and really helped grow my channel, and I really want to thank them. They are great guys, and the mods they have are awesome. We are stronger together. I also want to thank all of you. Every day I get so many comments and messages of people saying the most incredible things to me. It really helps give me the energy to spend late nights editing after a long day at work. And the support I have been receiving on my Patreon is amazing. You guys have no idea how much you are helping me. So if you'd like to support me and my wife, I will leave a link to my Patreon in the description box. And yes, I will be including Mrs. LK in future videos. Many of you have been asking me. This last year has, well, been a wild ride. Sometimes I stop and think of what I'm doing, and I'm just blown away. We have all come so far, but this is just the start. The best is yet to come. And to end this video off, I made a tribute to the last 12 months when I first started making videos. Enjoy.
Look into my eyes, see the color of my thoughts, hear the whispers in the dead of night. Reach out in the dark, take my hand, I'll lead you home. In my arms, I'll keep you safe. Angels all around will guide us to the light, keep us safe.
beautiful.
Wow. Wow is
So
right.
beautiful.
Wow.
Oh
Thanks,
my
guys.
goodness.
Okay, that was
You're-
absolutely beautiful. You have such amazing talent. Shady, that was a pretty nice shout out. And we thank you very much, Shady. Amazing.
Really was, and just a hint at the inspiring work that all these guys are doing. It's like we all have our own little niches, but LK, you really have come into your own with this. You're doing amazing work, and I know that Serial Brain is super proud of you supporting him and being true to his work as well.
And it's I don't even know what to say, guys. It just blows my mind every time I think about it.
It was back when this all started, back when I started fighting Q and Shady Groove and intheMatrixxx, and I just realized that there's certain I had a talent, I had something that God gave me, and it's time to use it for this, and that this movement needs this. I saw a vacuum where we need to have content that is as good as the cabal produces. And that man, that just touched my heart, man. That it just took my soul on a flight with you. And you do that for so many people, and we all try to do that for everybody, and that's the beauty of what we're doing. It's a renaissance.
Well, JT, I would love to play one of your or have one of your video music, featured in my videos.
Oh, dude, it would be an honor, and it's been something I've been creating in my mind as this show started, and thank you for saying that. And also, man, I'm writing music kind of like that music that you got. Watching these videos has inspired me, so I've started making orchestral music as well. So I have some songs that I'll send to you that you can use if you like them.
That'd be so awesome, man. Like, because I make an intro and then I kind of figure out what kind of music I want to use for it. So I could definitely make an intro that revolves around your voice and your tempo and stuff, right?
Awesome. Well, I've got the album coming out, so we need a breakthrough video. Awesome.
You'll be featured in the Seal Brain 2 video. How about that?
Dude. All right.
That'd be awesome.
This is awesome. This is such a great movement, you guys. I am, I watched last night with the Out of Shadows, and I have to tell you guys, I went to my gig, and the manager of the place, me and him constantly joke around because he's this real lefty guy, and so his boss walks up, the GM, and we start talking, and I noticed that me and him had more in common, and I said, well, you guys know the next thing coming out is that the CIA has people, reporters, and in the clergy. I mean, and the guy looked at me and he goes, yeah, I saw a documentary about that. And I went, Out of Shadows? He went, yeah, how did you know? So, boom. I mean, this guy, yeah, boom, man.
Wow.
And this is, the GM of a hotel. And, it's just super cool that this is getting to so many people. I realized in that moment that it's not 20 million, it's 40 and 50 million people have seen this stuff. And we are the news now. They're taking this more seriously than they're taking the crap that they see every day on the mainstream. So we got something here, folks, and we need to capture this moment because it's historical. And I know we've all felt like that, but it's time to, declare it and go forth and create.
Yeah. They don't like us being where we go when we go all. They don't like, you saw the stream having issues. First of all, we have issues on our stream anyways. Must be over the target, eh, Shady? And, they don't like us being together because that means we're united. So we've got LK Dark to Light, Carly Bonet, JT Wild, We can. Christian is going to possibly have a premiere later. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. Kiwi, all you guys, we're all together, and everybody's starting to do other stuff too, right? And we want to support that because they don't want us to be together. Shady, how would you explain, our journey together with people and them trying to stop us at every path, right? To be united on other channels and moving around.
Well, it really does, fit right into their narrative. They can't show that. They can't have that. If we show unity, then their gig is up, and they've got a huge amount of people brainwashed and thinking that because you're different than me, because you think or believe something different than me, that you're somehow lesser than me, or not as I'm not even exactly sure how to say it.
As Joe Biden would say, you ain't black.
Well, can I step in too here?
Yeah.
When I started
Certainly.
getting bigger and more noticed, I had a lot of people I didn't know send me messages like, "Hey, join this group, join that group." They never said to join your guys' group. That really set red flags for me, because when I started joining you guys, I was attacked, or I wasn't attacked, but people didn't want me to join you guys. And I just find it interesting that people in our own movement was dividing like that.
I've thought about that for a long time, and because when a lot of the division happened, I was a part of it, and I wasn't a part of it, but I was a part of the controversy, and it made me realize too that we're going through something. It's almost like, imagine the Christian Revolution 150 years ago in America, and you had the Protestants, the Catholics, the Mormons, the all these different factions, and I just see how our movement, it became factions. There's factions. So you just have to admit to that. And but slowly but surely, as we keep all progressing and keep growing and keep everybody in each, we're starting to realize that we are the ones that created that division, and now we can fix it just by acknowledging that it's there. And that to me again is part of the Great Awakening, which is us coming into, first of all, when you come in as a personal spiritual power of your own, you close off a little bit, and then you realize that it's time to open that up and to share it. And so there's a whole lot of spiritual growth that happens in a Great Awakening, and there's levels, and we're just achieving new levels, and it's just super exciting to see it. And when you can witness it without emotionally responding, and with the knowing that God wins, with the knowing that good wins, then it's a whole another experience altogether, and I'm just really happy that we're all together in it. And it's like last night Liz was saying that just imagine when we can all be in one room together, it'll be like this. It'll almost be like heaven, because we haven't seen each other. We don't know each other that well, but we're all brothers and sisters and connected so hardcore. We're so connected. And it's like, I can't wait for the General Flynn party where we all get to just be together and witness the history that we made. And I just feel like that will happen.
And it is happening. The impact around the world. By the way, Shady, guess who's out watching us today right now? I want you to give him a special shout out, Shady. Let's do this. Ready? Elizabeth Miller, her son Forrest says hi to everyone out there, and thank you for all your support for him. Shady, that's Forrest's mom, and Forrest is watching us right now.
Oh, it's wonderful to know you, Patriots, and I'm so blessed to have you guys on our team. We don't want people that strong on the other team, Matrix.
That's right. We want our little Patriots strong and
That's right.
knowledgeable and just full of patriotic spirit, Shady.
Absolutely.
Wow. Hi, Forrest. We love you. Everybody give us 17 for Forrest in live chat. Yeah, let's do that. Carly, how's it going? What's going on in the world today?
Oh, are we going over tweets or just?
We're going over what's going on in the world today, and I'm going to head over there. So yeah, let's do this. Because you're plugged in. You know what's going on.
Well, I started a new segment on my Periscope. I'm calling it Tinfoil Hat Thursdays. And there was and I wear my tinfoil hat.
Perfect.
And I read an article because they said parallel universe discovered and it goes backwards or something. And then after I read that yesterday and found out that we have this telescope called Anita in Antarctica, then they came out with all articles today saying NASA never said that because there was some experiment where they got particles from a balloon and yada, yada, yada. Very Twilight Zone-y. So now they're denying it. Well, so I thought that, it's like we don't get the truth anymore. Like with hydroxychloroquine, okay? You have the president's taking it. You have Laura Ingram's been all over it from day one with studies in all different countries, people getting saved from it. There was a segment yesterday where the president met with the African-American leaders and church leaders. And not one channel on the TV, except for OAN when they played it live, was a young woman talking about how the hydroxychloroquine made her better within hours. And she wouldn't have known about it if she didn't hear the president talk about it so she could go talk to her doctor about it. And no one's showing it.
Wow.
I mean, and then you have the fake news saying how it gives people heart problems. No one's proved that it keeps you from catching it, blah, blah. They're still singing that. It's like I always say, since I started doing the my
Scopes?
little scope since October, it's that constant fight, like LK shows and Serial Brain, that good against evil, that constant fight. And here you are, do I wear a mask? Do I not wear a mask? The president doesn't wear a mask. If he didn't wear a mask, now you have, the attorney general wants to go investigate the Ford company. And then we see a picture of the president wearing a very cool mask. And I said, I always knew he was Batman. He looked very cool. He looked pissed off and cool at the same time. But you know what I'm saying? It's the constant narrative of the good against evil, the right against the left. And then you got Joe Biden saying, if you're a Democrat and you don't vote for me, then you ain't black, to a black man on a talk show. And Harris Faulkner took such offense to that this morning. I thought she was going to cry just because she was so frustrated and angry.
This one?
And I do have that clip, yes.
All right.
Now there's Maria Barf, all right? And she's all pro-Biden. But if anyone has seen the clip, Biden was on a show last night, some coffee thing with a African-American gentleman, and said, all I've done, if you're a Democrat and you don't pick me, then you're not black. And the whole place is in an uproar, and they're trying to cover for him.
Right now. Here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's play that. Here we go.
So if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're...
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So now we have Harris Faulkner. I don't know if you want to go to that or go to the president. He just came on.
He just came on? Let me see.
Yeah.
There he is. All right, let's check out the president, guys. Wow, Carly, though. That's crazy.
Thank you very much.
I know.
At my direction, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention
is issuing guidance for communities of faith. I want to thank Dr. Redfield and the CDC for their work on this matter and all the other work they've been doing over the past, what now seems like a long period of time. Today, I'm identifying houses of worship, churches, synagogue, and mosques as essential places that provide essential services. Some governors have deemed liquor stores and abortion clinics as essential, but have left out churches and other houses of worship. It's not right. So I'm correcting this injustice and calling houses of worship essential. I call upon governors to allow our churches and places of worship to open right now. If there's any question, they're going to have to call me, but they're not going to be successful in that call. These are places that hold our society together and keep our people united. The people are demanding to go to church and synagogue, go to their mosque. Many millions of Americans embrace worship as an essential part of life. The ministers, pastors, rabbis, imams, and other faith leaders will make sure that their congregations are safe as they gather and pray. I know them well. They love their congregations. They love their people. They don't want anything bad to happen to them or to anybody else. The governors need to do the right thing and allow these very important, essential places of faith to open right now for this weekend. If they don't do it, I will override the governors. In America, we need more prayer.
This is Booms,
not less.
guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, President, for coming out. Wow.
All right, everyone. It's a pleasure to join you today.
Whoa.
That was a great announcement from President Trump. I'd like to introduce Dr. Birx right now. She has a wonderful presentation pursuant to reopening America and some great data to share with you, so I'll let her kick this off.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, really.
Let's just kind of turn this down. We'll watch it here. What Shady, real quick. Yeah, and then we'll go through everybody here. Shady, let's start with you. What we just witnessed. Oh.
Did we lose Shady?
Okay, Carly, take it. Tell me.
I'm just saying, he does this. He drops the boom and leaves the room. And he just said, you know how they kept saying, oh, if the president tells everyone what to do, he's a tyrant. So he left everything to the governors to govern their state.
Yep.
A lot of them are screwing it up big time. And when they screw up, you got Cuomo blaming, it's Trump and his CDC that I was following, putting the COVID patients in with the nursing homes, which is BS. Now he's put his foot down. He says, all right, I'm pulling out my tyrant. And what does he pull it out for? Places of worship, all denominations, all faiths.
He was furious. I've never seen him that mad.
He was not playing around, was he?
No, not at all. Not at all. That was so hairy. I got chills still.
So,
I got goosebumps.
Shady, I think we went over it yesterday or the day before, but the National Guard, Shady, seems to be getting a little closer. I don't know if you're still with us here, Shades.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is going to be an accurate decode about the National Guard. They're going to be used against the state, not for the state.
And not against protesters protesting against us, like we thought kind of in the beginning, right?
No, I think they're going to be deployed against the governors specifically.
Yeah. To intervene with the government. So we've got, 21 states open. So that leaves a whole bunch. And it seems to me like most of them are of the Democrat mindset.
Absolutely does.
And so there, LA threatening to, if you open your business, we'll shut your water down. We've got them exploding about Donald J. Trump's mask. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Aren't they pro-choice? So if our president decides to wear a mask or not wear a mask, isn't that his pro-choice?
That is exactly right.
Okay. So that's very hypocritical. And then they're totally ignoring the real masking issues, aka unmasking. You see how they're working that mask to unmasking to lessen the impact of what that actually means, Shady.
It's
Yeah.
a spell. What they're doing is they're engineering a spell against us who understand the truth, and the truth is that what we're dealing with is a regular flu, and nobody ever walks around with masks because the regular flu goes around all the time. But I would like to take a second to do a little setup here, because what we're doing is we're moving into this election cycle. And the election cycle is very important. Now, think about your National Guard in relevance to your elections and the security of those elections. We need oversight badly. We need oversight. We're going to have to use some system to oversee what's going on in the future and how they run these elections in these different states. But what they're doing is they're setting up for a second wave. This whole thing that you've been going through for the last 60 days was just a precursor to the whole plan. When we've been, I've been studying this plan forever of how they're going to implement contact tracing, how they're going to mark everybody, how they're going to try to tag people that are near people, all these different things, the microchip, whatever you want to talk. But they're trying to set this up for the second wave in the fall around election time to create hysteria. And I think that what POTUS and Q team and all of the white hats are doing are trying to hedge against what their plans are in that respect. And so one of those plans is to get as many people to take hydroxychloroquine as possible, because once you've taken that for a couple of weeks, you have a massive immuno response to any flu, not just to the COVID, but to any flu. So the more people that take hydroxychloroquine, the more people that are vaccinated against whatever it is they're planning for their second wave, because you've already seen the president come out and say, we're not closing the economy down again, because the mainstream media is running with the narrative that there's going to be this next event, right? And so everybody's setting up for this next event, and including your Fox News channel. Now, they're running with fear. Like you said, you mentioned earlier, Carly, that Laura Ingraham has been all over it. Tucker and Hannity have definitely been on it as well, but there's no other program over there. Those three programs are the only three on that channel, other than the five, that have any positive things to say about your president. Everybody else runs with this narrative. They've been running with the Russia narrative. They ran with the impeachment narrative. They ran with the even the narratives before he was elected. So this is very huge. And the more people that we have immune to the quote unquote seasonal flu, which will obviously happen every fall, then the stronger that we're going to be as patriots to stand up to these officials who are going to subvert the elections. They're going to attempt to subvert the elections, especially in Michigan, California, and New York. They're sending out ballot applications. Yeah, they're sending out ballot applications to everybody. So think about that. Like, okay, I didn't request, if I'm like right now, I'm in Oregon, I vote in North Carolina. To vote in North Carolina, I have to request an application for a ballot. So instead of me requesting my application, I have to, they're sending it to me unsolicited. That is voter fraud.
They sent it to me too. I got the same thing.
So
they
now
sent it to my house.
Now you can see what their plan is. Their plan is to use these battleground swing states as an anchor, if you will, for the larger plan, which is to get as many ballot boxes stuffed with whoever the DNC nomination is going to be. And I'm already hearing rumors that Biden could be out as early as next week, guys. So whatever it is that they're getting ready to pivot to is going to happen pretty soon. And I think that, we were talking right before the president came on. Carly was making the point about what Biden had said. And I would just like for you all to sit there for a second and think for one moment, if Donald Trump was on a call with another person, say an African-American person, and and he said to that person, oh, well, if you can't vote Trump, then you aren't black enough. Now, you just look at what the media would do to him if he did that. And then we had immediate responses from the radical left, Marie Harf, which was insulting to anyone who, it's like we have to over understand racism until one of our people are racist, and then we pretend like it doesn't exist. You know, the idea of being a racist is not hating other people. It's focusing on that aspect of other people as opposed to the content of what they're saying, as opposed to the validity of the conversation. Has nothing to do with the color of a person's skin anywhere on any platform at all ever, according to freedom, liberty, and America. Now, it's not according to any religious faith or anything. It's according to America. We are all free to worship and be and say what we darn well choose. And the idea that Joe Biden spins what the man is saying into he's not black enough because he maybe doesn't support him, or he's asking him questions, shows you racism. That is racism.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of how they are the racists, not us.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, you said it perfectly. We've got to get a little bit upset at our leaders if they're not allowing us to go to church, live life freely, stop the mask fear porn, if you will. We got to kind of, you know, get out there, guys, and make sure you understand in your local races who's who and what's what. The local parties are still very corrupt. They're still trying to hang on. Even your Republican Party. You know, check into other like Trump Team 2020. That's a good one to get involved with because they've left a lot of the Republicans because they're swamp creatures. Okay. We still have a lot of work to do. State, local, national election, Shady.
Yeah, and I would also like to real quick, maybe while we're on this topic, I just want to share with you guys that you do not just have to take hydroxychloroquine. I want you to get out there and do some research on cinchona bark, and you can take these tablets. I've been taking these tablets or these pills for a few weeks now, once a day, and I'm noticing a difference in my digestion and other aspects because it is an antidote. It's giving yourself an immunity to something that might a virus or whatever that might get in. So it isn't just hydroxychloroquine. You know, you can research the supplements. It's a bark. It's a tree bark from South America, and they've known about this in the deep state since as far back as the 1400s that we can tell. I think it goes back into ancient Egypt. I haven't been able to confirm the biblical nature of this, but I am searching. I do believe that I'm going to be able to find some sort of biblical reference to this, simply because of its effectiveness for antiviral reality. And we have to understand that we are an organism. The human being, humankind is an organism. And it seems like we're disconnected because we're not touching each other or we're not around each other. But what you have to understand is that the world that we live in is not separated. Okay. So imagine if you will, like all the particles in the world that you call air. Okay. All these particles are like stacked oranges in a grocery store. So imagine a stack, the way the oranges stack with the little balls on top of each other. Okay. Well, everything is the ether between us. All the space between us is ether. That is energy. That energy connects us. So we are all connected as one organism in reality. What they want you to think is that you're divided and completely out there on your own. So as we come together and start healing the organism, one individual at a time around the planet, then not only are we giving ourselves immunity to this crazy disease, but we're also giving ourselves a narrative to fight them with, because we become stronger the more that we're resistant to not only maybe this COVID, but what if it's making you resistant to other ailments out there or other viruses? Like I've heard people who are taking who've been taking hydroxy for 10 or 12 years now because they have lupus or Lyme disease or something like that they've someone's diagnosed them properly. They don't get sick anymore. They don't get the flu. So we have a cure for the regular flu that's been around since the 1950s. And if we don't have, if the deep state doesn't have 80 to 100,000 Americans dying from the flu every year, then that makes us stronger, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Whoa, I was muted. Absolutely, Shady. Very, very well said. And, you know, you were talking about the ether. Isn't it interesting that we connect our networks with Ethernet?
That's exactly right. Everything is macro, micro.
That's right. Wow, very, very interesting.
And the comms are right there. You know, it's like we've been brainwashed to think that we can't see. And so once you guys are especially special out there in chat, because you guys have the ability to see past your own what's the word for it? Like to see past your own individual realities, right? Okay, we have our own individual realities, but we have to be able to get to the 40,000 foot view, and you guys do that better than any group of people ever in the history of our evolution, because you've been programmed with the real information. Remember, the Q thing is a psychological operation to give you the truth. You know, we're using the framework of a psyop to give you the truth and to unbrainwash people.
Amen to that, my friend. Also, because this is Where We Go One, We Go All Friday, Shady, I noticed Christian is here. Christian Supreme, hello.
What's happening? How y'all doing?
Good, good.
Hey, Christian.
I know a lot of you guys might see Christian down in there in chat and everything. He's also co-host of Black, White, No Difference with Eric over there. And amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen that show. How's the show going, Christian?
It's going good as long as we get it off.
Right.
It's been a monster getting it off lately. Seems like they right at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
everything
so they're
goes down.
like, interrupting the streams and whatnot.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
But
We don't get any of that here,
We make
Christian.
it happen. It's going good.
Good, good. And I've been enjoying it too. So guys, let's drop that link to Black, White, No Difference YouTube channel. If you guys could get over there, give them a follow. That'd be great. They're doing a good job. And, you know, again, we support anybody that wants to go make a difference. So here we are, Where We Go One, We Go All Friday. Like to have as many people that want to come on as possible and share with what they're doing for this movement. It's an amazing time to be alive.
Sure,
guys.
for let me come on, man. Really appreciate it. And what you and Shady's been doing, I've been following y'all forever. Y'all know that, and it's really inspiring. And JT, I love your music. Carly, I follow you as much as possible. Freaking awesome. And LK, you know, me and you talk a lot, dude. What you're doing is unreal, man.
Oh man, your work is great too. You're uniting people, and yeah.
You know, and yeah, so it's amazing what's happening out there, guys. There's a lot of people making a difference. You know, you might think you have 100 followers, 200 followers. Yeah, you got more than that. Your voice is heard, but we've got to start retweeting everybody. We've got to start supporting everybody. Get those Q posts on your timeline. Get them all out there. You know, I try to retweet people when I can. It's hard to see. I can't even see Shady and Carly. I have to go to every single one's timeline. That's not fair. But you know, we need
your
to
streams
stay
don't even
together.
show up for me, Matrix.
What's that?
Your streams don't even show up for me anymore.
Well,
Yep.
it's because
Not
Me
at all.
neither.
it's because the invisible enemy is calling me the invisible enemy. Us, you,
Hey,
Shady, me.
hey, Matrix, I'm
Yeah.
looking at it says you have 40,000 tweets. Do you realize that's less than the text messages between Struck and Page?
Oh my God.
Over 3 or 4 years.
That's a lot of tweets.
They had 50,000. They had 50,000 correspondence between each other. Okay, I'm just saying.
Was it really 50,000?
Yeah, it was like.
Holy crap! I didn't
it was
actually catch it.
That's hilarious.
I thought you were going to say that he has 7,000 more than the missing Hillary emails.
That's so funny.
Good.
Now let's do something here today on our Where We Go One We Go Off Friday. I want everybody to put, if they're on Twitter, put their @ symbol here, and let's make a gallant effort to try to go follow everybody. And we'll do that for the next 10, 15 minutes. Let's try to make a gallant effort to follow everybody. We need to unite, folks. We need to be together. So there is a lot of censorship. They're censoring our content from them. That's why we need to get. That's why we need to get into like somebody that's, famous, like a blue check, and get in there and red pill that way. That's the best way to go do it, right? When Roseanne was tweeting a lot, it's good to go underneath her, and that was a really good method of trying to get your word out. But
and I'd also like to
Shady.
to throw in there real quick about if you guys haven't, please get over and follow Joe Ray Perkins for Senate. She won the Republican primary out here in Oregon this week, but just understand that she did come out at her acceptance speech and she said, "Where we go one, we go all." And she triggered a whole set of people that are on the right, guys. Okay. So this is not just about the attacks from the left. This is attacks from all angles. And so if you're not following Joe Ray, we need you over there to support her, to support the people that come to attack her in any of her tweets, and so she knows that we're still with her, even though she's going to have to placate a little bit to the party here in Oregon and maybe not be so vocal, but that's okay. And I've explained to her that that's okay. And we don't expect her to necessarily use her platform to explain Q to people. That's our job. Her job is to just support the president, and we all support the president with her.
Shady, explain some of the voicemails. I wish I could play them. I wouldn't do that without permission, but she's getting voicemails, guys.
She's getting voicemails from people in the Republican Party telling her that she's a crook and how could you follow such BS and what is the matter with you and your head must be screwed up and all of these other different comments from people inside her own party. So they don't really care that she's supporting your president. They more care that she reads Q and want to attack her on that front. It's not fair. And it's gonna happen around the country with any other candidate that has a connection with us or with Q, and they're trying to make an example out of her. So we need all the support that we can get for Joe Ray and for all of the people. Like, understand this. We're doing this interesting thing. We're doing a show. You guys are doing your interesting thing. We're doing Twitter. You're doing YouTube channels. JT's making music. Carly's doing her great stuff. Everybody's doing, and Christian's doing his awesome work. Everybody's doing this awesome work. But I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't mean nothing. It does not mean a darn thing for all of us to be doing all this work if we can't get people in elected office that stand up for us and the president. Not necessarily Q, but the people. And so, the reason we're in this situation is because everybody kind of sat on their butts and watched football games and drank beer and went to the movies as opposed to paying attention to the fox in the hen house that was stealing everything right under our noses where no one could even notice. We have to plug in. We have to get our republic back. You do not have a republic unless you're plugged into what is going on with it every day. And I see people that are like, oh, the president, oh, there's so much stuff to do. Yeah, there's so much stuff because he's actually doing something for you. Get over there and support him and speak to your friends and support him. This is the only thing that we don't have anything if we don't have. Listen, there's only been, do you guys get this? There's only been about 11,000 people total since 1776. There's only been about 11,000 people total elected to government, Congress, and the Senate. Think about that. In 240 years. So these people that we elect are extraordinarily important. And right now you see people like Pritzker, you see people like Whitmer in Michigan, you see people like Newsom in California, and this god-awful, dreadful thing they call a Cuomo. Like that, all these people, you elected them. I'm just saying. You got to take responsibility for that, and we got to change our our method here a little bit.
QAnon is not a conspiracy, Shady. QAnon is just information. Voters back QAnon conspiracy promoter for Senate. I mean, look at this. Look at this, Shady. It's about time we need to address the MSM. All they've done is just said stuff like this. They've never said, hey, let's take a look at the actual information, because that's what Q is.
That's exactly right. QAnon is information that you have access to, and it's people that read it. The conspiracy is what we are talking about. QAnon is we're not.
Yeah.
We're not conspiracy theorists. We're conspiracy analysts. We are analyzing the embedded conspiracy within our government. And it's easy as this to prove a conspiracy.
And she never said this. There's things in here, they try to group everybody together. It's a free thinking movement. You might think that's true. You might think it's not true. You've done your own research. It's up to you to choose to know, Shade. This is not, the way that they just keep the same story over and over and over. It's very repetitive. FBI,
Right.
We can basically guess how this is, an FBI branch said that QAnon was bad. It's not QAnon. It's the corruption in our country, both Republican and Democrat, and we, the people, want to fix it. They're just pissed because we're awake.
That's right. And they're extremely upset. And remember, we just had the article last week of Hillary Clinton directly addressing QAnon people and saying, oh, well, they just really are triggered over me. And we didn't have any idea how organized and strategic that they were. And think about that for a second, that we caught them flat-footed, not realizing that you are a threat. No matter how many articles they write about you, no matter how many friends of yours they weaponize against you for saying that you're a right-wing fringe conspiracy theorist, well, we are analyzing the conspiracy. This is the simplicity of this. If you think that your politicians, any of them, whether it's Abrams, whether it's Whitmer, if you think these people are stupid, then you are not paying attention. Okay? These people are not dumb. They are not stupid. They are not inept. They are not out of line. They are doing exactly what they want to do. They're implementing plans and architecture to divide and conquer you. That is the conspiracy. They are working to divide and conquer you. And so they sit there and they point at us and they say, oh, well, you're this and you're that. What they're doing is they literally are gatekeepers for the conspiracy. A conspiracy is multiple people working together in subversion of a movement or cause. Conspiracy. They are working together. We are exposing it and they are attacking us. It's very, very simple. And we don't have a very big voice in our elected base here in America. We have a lot of people that are in elected positions that have a lot of power that are not dumb. They are up to an agenda specifically, and it's easier to red pill people whenever you explain to them that these politicians aren't stupid, because everyone wants to say, oh, they're just stupid, and move on at this subsurface thought form. It's much deeper than that.
Yeah.
You have to understand, look at the expensive schools they all went to. They've been indoctrinated into this. This has been beat into them. They breathe this. They've been made to do what they're doing from childhood.
That's correct, 100%. And they have no empathy, no compassion. They do not care about. Do you think, does anyone out there think for 1 second that Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, or Stacey Abrams, or any of these people give one rat's behind about any single one of us? You can't fake that. You can't act like you care and not. They can't do it. It's impossible for them. That's why what you're seeing with Donald Trump and some of these other officials like DeSantis and a few of the other ones that are, Jim Jordan, that are stepping up, you can see their compassion for you. You can see their empathy for the rule of law being subverted. You can see their love of country, of like, I don't want to lose my republic. This is important. I don't care if it was a Democrat president or a Republican president. This happened. They attempted to subvert the willing vote of the people right in front of us to steal the election and then to make it illegitimate. Remember, Hillary never gave a concession to Donald Trump. There's a specific reason that she didn't give this concession, because she believes he is illegitimate. And that is getting ready to happen sometime here in the near future. You're going to see the battle step into the next phase. I have a really strong feeling that we're only a couple of weeks away from the big switcheroo.
Yeah, and I'm with you, because there it is. Do these people care about your well-being, guys? Do you really think? And, the attacks on Joe Ray, because, she came on to a Q program. She believed in Q. She read Q. She got elected, guys. and we should be very proud of that and stand behind her. Make sure, because she's
Not
going
only
to, have attacks. But we're just Trump supporters, Shady.
And not only did she win, she won by a landslide. She had three other opponents in that primary runoff. She got just under 50% of the total vote, almost 160,000 votes, compared to the closest other one was like, I think, 48,000 or something, 30%. So this is not just a few people that came out in Oregon to support her. And now she has to, gather those supporters who are reading the New York Times, reading the Washington Post, reading the Daily Beast. They did like 4 or 5 articles on her the day after she won, and they all plastered QAnon believer wins the election primary for Senate in Oregon. And she even shared some stuff with me of people saying that they were going to vote for the Democrat because she thought Q was legit. You really think they're going to do that? I don't know, but people are leaving her messages saying that, and it's very confusing to understand. So we need to just give her any support that you can give her. Send her love, send her an email of appreciation. You don't have to send her money if you can't, but if you can send her an email that says you appreciate her and you stand with her, I'm sure that she would really be inspired by that, guys.
Yep, and we understand that she just has to stick to the policies now. She needs to be a MAGA Republican, and really, that's what she is. That's what we are. We're MAGA Republicans. We're not the old guard Republicans. That's old guard Republicans are going after us on the daily. They're not allowing us to speak. Dead. They're censoring us, and they're attacking us. And we need to stand strong, guys.
Well, think about what you're saying right there, man. That hits into another huge thing. What you're saying right there. They're taking away our ability to speak. So on YouTube, they're taking away our ability to speak by censoring the show. On our Twitters, they're taking away our ability to speak by, shadow banning. Yep. Yeah, algorithms and shadow banning, right? But now look at the situation we find ourselves in. All of a sudden, across the country, can you speak at church?
Yep.
Now
you can. Today, you can.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, this is not the end of it. This is just the beginning of the fight, guys. These governors are not going to capitulate. They're going to stand up. They're going to push back. But think about where we are. You can't speak in church. You can't gather in large gatherings to speak. There's no place to get on a stage and speak. No one can get together of more than 10 people. So how they've railroaded us all into the web of the internet. And now we're all censored on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. So there is no place for freedom to speak in America right now. And that should scare the bejesus out of all of you guys, because this is not funny.
No, it's not. Not at all. And, that's why we're here on the daily. And, today we just thought we'd have a, where we go one, we go all discussion. And, Shady, these people are going to have to talk to us eventually, Shady, because the attacks, hundreds, maybe thousands of articles, and all we are MAGA supporters. We're Trump supporters, guys. We're the underlayer of Trump's movement. We are the information spreader. Remember when POTUS says, hey, when I have information to get out there, I got people to get it out there for us. That's you. It's us. To MAGA. And the memes that the MAGA supporters that don't understand or haven't heard of Q, they use our memes. We are making a difference, and they don't like it. That's why they don't want to talk to you. That's why they don't want to, if they have an article about me and Shady, they spell our name wrong. They never link to the account because they don't want people to find us. I think that's over the target.
It is over the target.
But we're aware of where we are, right? Does that make sense? But we're more powerful than we think, because, you don't think that you guys out here had some impact on Joe Ray's running. I think you did. And I'm proud. Even if it's $1 donation, a $5 donation, you know what I mean? You had an impact. So we got to stick together, Shady. Carly.
We really do. And we got to get louder and stronger.
We got to get louder like Carly, because she's amazing and strong. So anybody want to add on to that? Anybody have any commentary? JT, Christian, LK, feel free.
Well, yeah, same thing. I just, get everybody the same kind of support we're giving to Joe Ray. Like we need to find out these MAGA people in our local voting districts, and
Yep.
we need to help promote them. And I
And JT, real quick, there's certain races around the country that we as Americans need to get around, need to get into.
Sure.
You know, there's who's going against Nancy Pelosi, who's going against Schiff, who's going against Ted Deutsch, who's going against Wasserman. We, the people, need to be aware and support the MAGA candidates in those areas.
Definitely. And I don't know, I mean, here's a little bit of glimmer of hope. My daughter is hugely starting to be an Anon, and she doesn't even know it. And she's studying so much stuff, but she sent me a TikTok.
Tic Tac.
Yeah, you needed that Tic Tac too, JT. I'm just saying.
We're old, bro.
You know what is this Tic Tac thing?
You know, it's Pound Me Too, right?
Yeah, it is.
We're old school. Tic Tac, Pound Me Too movement. We don't know what's going on.
So, well, there is a young Republican movement on there that a girl in Pasco County started, and it's got 500,000 followers. And there is actually a youth Democrat side, and they go back and forth with each other, and these kids are amazingly funny. They are pumped up about Trump, and I mean, just that 500,000, you know, as voters out there, that's powerful. I mean, you know, that's powerful to have that many people, and it's carrying on, and they're 100% MAGA. It's really super cool, and they're all races, all creeds, all colors, all denominations, you know. And what's funny is even in, you know, their movement, their left, their youth of the left, they're following, they're getting caught in lies too. It's just like they're getting, you know, they can't keep up with the lies that the people above them that they look up to are giving them. And you know, that's going to get old to these kids, you know, especially when they're active and finding out the truth. You know, everybody on both sides wants the truth. They just find it in different ways.
I believe that. I do. Carly, let's shift over to you, and I've got some tweets, or excuse me, some links here, and let me go over the first one real quick. I think we showed it while we were talking about the masks. So this is Carluska P. And here, let's check this out.
I'm going to show you five of the runners up.
United we stand, and divided we fall. We mask up not just to obey the law, but to obey the laws of nature. We hope for immunity in our community. We pray for normality in this calamity. We want hope. I mask up not because I fear getting sick, but because I fear getting you sick. I mask up because days, weeks, or months of hot breath and acne bumps is better than knowing my wife will soon have to raise a fatherless son. Mask up.
I love Trump. If I had a vote, I would have voted for that.
It goes on and on. This is Cuomo. You know,
Go ahead.
I don't know if you want to go through all of them. It's just horrific. He has a contest online that make your best wear your mask video, and he will highlight the winner. These are the 5 finalists.
Oh my
So
gosh.
instead of talking about, you know, blaming the president for his debacle with killing off the elderly,
Well,
we're
yeah, he
going to
put
have
him
a
in
contest.
the nursing
He put
homes.
the COVIDs in the nursing homes.
How
But
come he didn't
that
use
blames
the
Trump.
mercy? How come he didn't use the hospitals? You know, obvious, Carly, right?
Yeah, but he's blaming Trump's CDC. It's Trump's CDC now. Okay, that's a quote. This is Trump's CDC. He goes on his brother's show, and they have giant Q-tips on there, and they joke around. And you think you know when the report came out about all these people dying in the nursing homes, the episode with his brother, they're talking about women think you're hot now. You think you're all hot, you know, you do it, you know, talking about dating women. I mean, they keep lifting this murderer up. The one that lit up the Empire State Building when they signed the infanticide law.
Wow.
This son of a bitch, you know?
New York, guess what they got to do? They got to do this.
So, I want you to
Stand
get up
up,
now.
New York.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!" I want you to get up right now.
You know, I want you to get up and vote. Get up and figure it out. Stand up for your rights. Stand in your power.
Instead, he's making people do TikToks on wearing a mask and how it's gonna just saving lives. They're putting it to rap music. They're having actual Americans make propaganda for them.
Absolutely.
The thing that they're accusing us of doing.
Absolutely.
The Q movement of making propaganda on truth. Well, they're having American citizens to get their clicks and their likes on social media, making propaganda to rap music and etc. for wearing a mask and showing their submission. And this just makes me so sick. Yeah, I don't want to take it anymore. I'm in New York, people, and I haven't left my house in months. And this makes me ill. Physically ill.
It does. It does. And, you know, any guy, Christian, what are your thoughts on the masks? You saw that they were riding a bike and exercising, guys. That will hurt you. You don't need, if you're out in the fresh air, you do not need the mask, folks. If you're in your car alone, you don't need the mask. Even if you think you need one, it's your choice. Wear it if you want, don't if you don't. But this kind of crap is taking up the mainstream media, covering up the actual crimes against humanity by these sick people, folks. Get mad, but not in a violent way. We're not a violent movement. What we do is we get on our keyboard and we help wake people up. I want to shift our movement and thought process to not trolling people in a mean way. We got to troll them in a nice red pill way, guys. And, you know, we've got to start trying to move that needle. Anybody want to comment on what we've just talked about with these masks and stuff?
Yeah, man. I made a video this morning. I triggered a bunch of people on Facebook with my mask video this morning. Well, not putting a mask on, telling people to take their mask off, right? But I mean, the thing is, if you're not sick, it's not doing anything because it doesn't protect you. So what's the point, right? And then the other thing is, if you are sick, just stay at home, because if you're sick and you're wearing a mask, it's incubating the sickness and it's making the sickness worse because you're breathing it in and out, in and out. So it really doesn't matter. And for the most part, I've seen different videos of all kinds of different masks of people spraying like Lysol or deodorant. That's the thing that you can really kind of see go through it, like spray deodorant, and it's going through both sides of the mask. So what's the point? And then supposedly the coronavirus, whatever, is way smaller than what the mask protects you from anyway.
Yeah.
So it's going to get out or come in anyway. Well, and like Shady says, it's a freaking muzzle. That's what they're trying to do to us. They're trying to muzzle us.
That's exactly right. And I actually meant to include that in what I was talking about earlier about us not being able to speak. You know, on top of all of that, they're making you walk around in a mask. And, you know, they, just like you said, it's actually, if you are an older person, we're already kind of, especially in America, you know, the air isn't perfect. We're kind of breathing a lot of stuff in just in general from the air. what China and other countries that, and us are putting in the air. So we're consistently not getting enough oxygen already as human beings. And now you're putting a mask on where you're really literally breathing in your CO2. You're asphyxiating yourself. You're suffocating yourself. And look at how they're standing there laughing at you. Think about that. They are standing there laughing at you. They're like, wow, look how much control we have. Or look at how powerful we are as the puppet masters. Remember, whenever this all started, they weren't saying anything about masks. As a matter of fact, Fauci we showed the video of Fauci saying that the masks don't do any good.
Let's show that right now.
Whenever the COVID didn't take effect after 30 days, it didn't grab, it didn't scare everybody. Everybody's like, wait, look, now we're seeing 40% of the people were in nursing homes. So, you have this shift in narrative. Then all of a sudden they're all wearing masks. They
shame you, if you don't wear it.
Did you see a couple?
The president.
What did you see?
Another form of division.
Yeah, did you see exactly, Christian? Did you see the video of the lady who was walking into the store and the guy's just like running up to her, screaming at her to put her mask on? He's like in her face, like almost spitting in her face with his mask down below his nose, number one. And then he's like yelling at her and calling her all these horrible names and telling her he's going to call the police. She's like, call the police. And a matter of fact, that's exactly what you should say. If anybody comes up to you like that, call the police. Yeah, I want the police here. And whenever the police get there, file a report against the person that's harassing you.
Exactly.
Charge them. File a claim against them. Sue them personally. Take their name, write it down, and go file a lawsuit against them. Trust me, things will be figured out really quick if we were all to do that.
Boom. Let's watch Fauci. They love Fauci. Let's check him out real quick, right? They love this guy. And let's hear the truth about masks. Here we go.
Confusion among people and misinformation surrounding face masks. Can you discuss that?
The masks are important for someone who's infected to prevent them from infecting someone else. Now, when you see people and look at the films in China and South Korea, whatever, everybody's wearing a mask. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Wait, what did he say? One more time.
People should not be walking around with masks.
I think that's all we need to hear.
Yep.
Take them off, guys.
And now he's wearing a mask.
We need to put that on a loop.
Yeah.
And now they lose their minds. The president didn't wear a mask. He's still not wearing a mask.
So from my own experience, I went to get my hair cut the other day and I was forced to wear a mask. And it just felt so unnatural.
Yeah, and you're touching your face more with the mask. You're jiggling. You're
I got a picture of Fauci basically picking his nose with the mask on, standing behind the president.
OMG.
Exactly. And every time I go to a store, I pay attention to the masks people. And I always see somebody put their whole hand underneath their mask to scratch something.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
If you got something on your hand, now it's on your face and it's inside your mask and you're breathing it in. I mean...
Yep. So
well,
we're standing up.
I mean, let's just think about for a second that they restricted everybody that was quote non-essential businesses. They got all the big box stores open, but our small businesses are non-essential, and they've herded us all into the grocery stores. So that's where the petri dish is. We're all only going to the grocery stores, right? And so everybody can go in there and just touch and do whatever they want to do, and whatever, if you're wearing a mask or not. But we are being herded like cattle.
For example, where I live, they're even giving park rangers the ability to give people $400 tickets for not having the proper social distancing.
Oh, and
it's just disgusting.
That's insane.
Oh, you got de Blasio. He's going to fence off the beach. And you got Burks just said today, if you go out this weekend, you have to be 6 feet apart.
Go pound sand.
Yeah. Well, you can only go on dry sand, not wet sand.
Oh yeah, I was in California. If you guys didn't know that, in California, you can't cross the dry sand to get to the wet sand next to the water. Like you got to have a drone, Carly, to get you like from the pavement.
So basically, the beach is closed.
Well, this is the party. But see, asinine. This is the party that believes in the science.
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's science.
All right. Blinded
Yeah,
with
this is
science.
science. What science?
She blinded
Go home
me
and go
with
make a
science.
clock out of a potato. You know, because you're killing it here. They never got past making a potato clock. All right, these people are idiots. But it's not like you said, they're not idiots. This is the narrative. This is their science.
Yes, this is the game.
Their
The game is to
science.
make you
It's not
think.
real science. It's their science, like their truth to power.
And what you're saying, Carly, is so huge. What you're saying is spot on and huge because it is their science. Go back to the early 1900s, the creation of the American Medical Association. Look at the idea of anyone who stands up and says that something that I make could possibly help treat or alleviate some sort of symptom that you're having. All of these restrictions are on the natural remedies for a reason. Like all these restrictions are on raw milk for a reason. They do not want you to have things that build up your immune system because they want X amount of people dying every year from default immune systems. So all of us specifically are needing to take our power back. Like we have to understand that it is our power to live in this world, and pushing back against the establishment is our job, Carly. Like that's who we are.
Yep.
100%.
Hegseth, there was another clip I sent you.
It makes me so mad.
Where he shows how they play on words to keep moving that red line. This is like like they're doing with the masks, and they use different words and their science, and it was just amazing how he just put it with I forgot what was he doing it about? Oh, with immigration. He used the way they've moved the goalposts with how you say immigration. First it was illegal aliens and illegal immigrants, then something workers, then then by the time they get to the last meaning of the word, the border should be open and we should be all writing them a check.
Yeah, exactly right. The idea of, they've conflated the idea of, oh, you don't like immigrants to an illegal immigrant. Like they're trying to make it seem like it's the same thing. Like we don't want illegal immigrants, so you don't want anybody immigrating to America because you're racist. And it goes right back to what we were just talking about. It's like they own the science. They paid for the science. They propagated it. They propped it up. They've lied about it. They've spread it around. It belongs to them. It is theirs. What we're trying to do is show you there's an alternative to their science.
Yes.
So
was that Chanel?
I want to bring this in too. So we've had a pretty good White House update today. First of all, we saw the president opening the churches, the Muslims, the mosques, the temples, whatever, all the religious places of worship, and saying, call me if you have any issues. I'm, even in the governments that say you can't go. So that's a boom, guys. And then let's check out this. This is pretty interesting, guy. This is why did the DOJ learn about FBI's interest in Flynn? So let's watch this, guys. Ready? Here we go.
About President Obama and unmasking Michael Flynn were the men and women in this room. I haven't spoken to him on that specific point, have spoken to him about the matter generally. And I laid out a series of questions that any good journalist would want to answer about why people were unmasked and all sorts of questions. And I just wanted to follow up with you guys on that. Did anyone take it upon themselves to pose any questions about Michael Flynn and unmasking the President Obama spokesperson? Oh, not a single journalist has posed that question. Okay.
Michael Flynn's name wasn't
so
matched.
I would like
Kelly.
to lay out a series of questions, and perhaps if I
just want to stop it right there. Did you hear that? Oh, Michael Flynn wasn't masked. Is that interesting, Shady?
Just like we said, right?
Yeah, interesting. It seems like a mainstream media talking point now, doesn't it?
Sure is.
Let's check it out.
write them out in a slide format, maybe have not spoken to the president about
just
that.
Rewind it one more time.
But who I did speak to about
Winning
President Obama and unmasking Michael Flynn were the men and women in this room. I haven't spoken to him on that specific point, have spoken to him about the matter generally. And I laid out a series of questions that any good journalist would want to answer about why people were unmasked and all sorts of questions. And I just wanted to follow up with you guys on that. Did anyone take it upon themselves to pose any questions about Michael Flynn and unmasking the President Obama spokesperson? Oh, not a single journalist has posed that question.
But
Okay.
Michael Flynn's name wasn't
So
matched.
I would like
Kaylee-
to lay out a series of questions, and perhaps if I write them out in a slide format, maybe we're visual learners, and you guys will follow up with journalistic curiosity. So number one, why did the Obama administration use opposition research funded by a political organization and filled with foreign dirt to surveil members of the Trump campaign? Number two, why was Lieutenant General Michael Flynn unmasked? Not by the intel community entirely, but by Obama's chief of staff, by the former Vice President Joe Biden, by Susan Rice, by the Treasury Secretary. I mean, this is extraordinary. And, you know, if it were political
So he was
appointees of the
unmasked,
Trump
Shady, just like we
administration,
thought.
I can guarantee you.
Right?
I didn't hear you.
General Flynn was unmasked, apparently.
Yes.
It says it right here on the White House, from the White House, not from another media person. I'm very happy that this happened today. So let's keep going.
I'd have questions in my inbox right now, but apparently Obama's spokesperson does not. Why was Flynn's identity leaked in a criminal act? It is a criminal act to leak the identity of Michael Flynn to the press, but it happened. Where are the questions to Obama's spokesperson? Because my team would be running around this building should this have happened under the Trump administration. Why did the DOJ, Sally Yates, learn about the unmasking from President Obama? So much for going by the book. As Susan Rice said 3 times, thou doth protest too much, Susan Rice. And then finally, question number 5. Why did James Clapper, John Brennan, Samantha Power, and Susan Rice privately admit under oath they had no evidence of collusion while saying the opposite publicly? It's a long weekend. You guys have 3 days to follow up on those questions, and I certainly hope the next time I ask, some hands go up.
Boom,
because Obama's
shotgun.
spokesperson should be asked those questions, because President Trump's spokespeople certainly would be.
Love it. All right, and let me point something out, Carly, right? For Joe Ray Perkins, for us, for the movement, for the president. These are Q posts, guys. Do you understand that?
Yes.
They're all cute posts.
Do you guys understand that? Do you media understand that we have it all? That's why you're afraid, and stop censoring us. Period. Hey, wow, I did it. Period.
Here, I gotta make these videos. I'm dying. I gotta make the video.
I gotta go make a video.
And Matrix, grab this YouTube clip that I got right there. I want to show the guys this real quick.
All right, we are over in where?
I'm here with us in Zoom.
Gotcha.
They bring they've fixed it where it's hot links now.
One thing, Secretary of State Pompeo is extremely busy, so if you have any question for him right now, could you do that? Because you know what I'd like to do? I'd like him to go back to the State Department, or as they call it, the Deep State Department, if you don't mind. I'd like to have him go back and do his job. So does anybody have any question? Please.
Steve Fauci?
Freak.
Yeah, how about you?
Let's go look at that again.
Watch Fauci after the president says this. Watch Fauci. You can see half of
Go
them
back
on the right.
and do his job. So does anybody have any question? Please. Yeah, how about you?
He's like, I'm on the wrong side, but that's pretty badass.
Travel, can you define that?
It's almost like he's like, that was good, but I'm on the other side. Damn it.
Where's Fauci's
Exactly
mask?
right.
I did a whole slow-mo with him covering his face and looking down, cracking up. I had a whole video of that. It was beautiful.
I know you did. And this is why I wanted to show you guys what we're talking about. We are talking about our truth versus their narrative. And what you just saw there was Fauci react to the president being honest and then feel uncomfortable immediately about exposure.
That's right. And I'll just kind of do it one more time. We just watch him. He's like going, oh. There
He's
he
like
is.
a master troll, man.
There he is. He's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable. Where's body language ghost?
Yeah, where is she?
See? Right there. He's like, oh my god.
Oh,
It's a conspiracy.
And Pompeo walks up like a boss.
I'd love to see him as
You know,
president. I
wow.
love Kansas,
He's
man.
like the whack-a-mole guy, He's like, as soon as they pop up, he's like slapping them down.
Oh my gosh, guys, this has been fun today. What do you think?
Yes, definitely.
Let me see. Let's go to Carly. I'm going to Zoom again. Let's go to your second video that you dropped in here. Okay, I'm going to it now. And this is
the headset?
to control your language.
Yes, this is the one. Yes.
Here we go.
Control your language.
Use language and weaponize it to try to control us. Take the issue of immigration, right? A legal term was illegal alien, then it was illegal immigrant, then it was undocumented immigrant, then it was undocumented worker, undocumented person, and now they're economic migrants, and suddenly no person can be illegal, and ta-da, the border should be wide open. This is precisely how they think, and you're the bad guy for applying common sense.
Yeah, they control language to control your thoughts, of course.
So that was the Mika. That's Mika. He's commenting on Mika. Right?
What Mika was a little triggered with the whole Jack thing, wasn't she? That phone call was something else, Mika.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
I made her a nice little video of when she was stroking the president's hair, and I put "Careless Whisper" in there, so she had a nice love song.
Oh, Carly, you gotta add
whisper. Oh god.
You gotta add Biden like sniffing her hair or something.
See, that I don't have the tools to do that.
All right, so here we go.
I do the best I can.
Set this one up. This is a super PAC.
Yes.
Okay, just play it. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys.
And I tell you what I see that is most important and most significant to me. There's been a lot of discussion on television about the politicization of the pandemic and a lot of blame cast, right, on Trump and our GOP for doing that. But what people are ignoring is something really critical that was reported in the Washington Post on the 1st of May. There's this article, and here it is. I have it here, which is not something I often do, but this is so significant to me that I wanted to make sure I had it printed out. The headline is about technology that was once used to combat ISIS propaganda is being employed by a Democratic Political Action Committee, a super PAC, basically to counteract Trump's messaging on the coronavirus and his handling of the coronavirus. And this super PAC has enlisted the assistance of General Stanley McChrystal, who many of your viewers will recognize his name. And he has openly stated in this article, it's a whole piece about it, the Washington Post has no problem with this, that they're taking a weapon of war that was designed to counter ISIS and Al-Qaeda, in other words, U.S. enemies, and they're using it against the U.S., against American citizens in this country. And they say in their own words, it's to combat online efforts to promote President Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. So if you've got a Republican governor in Florida who's succeeding, that's not a message they want to hear. You want to know how they'll combat it? Well, I'll tell you what. They're going to use artificial intelligence and network analysis to map a discussion of the president's claims on social media, and then seek to intervene by identifying the most popular counter-narratives and boosting them through a network of more than 3.4 million social influencers across the country. And some of those people will be paid by them. So I think what people may not understand about this is you're taking a weapon of war that the United States developed to use against its foreign enemies, and a former U.S. general is using that technology and those tactics with a political action committee, and they're using it against to counter Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. That is deeply political. And it's also, you can speak to many people in the intelligence community who will tell you that it's also illegal, never mind unethical.
So it's not even China.
Can I really quick too? Real quick. This was a Q post, folks. This was a Q post. Do you guys understand that? 3 weeks ago, this was a Q post. We are MAGA Republicans. We support the president, and this was a Q post. Hello? Anyone?
It sure was.
Bueller.
You know, Bueller. You know, it just got me thinking. I've been thinking about this a while, but what would have happened if, military intelligence would have started a television show and, just like blatantly putting all this information out? Is that illegal for them to do? What would be the, how would we respond? How would the public respond? Would they not care? Would they, and it's just really interesting to me, though, the way it's a consciousness movement, and you have to get the people behind you with anything. And I remember reading in Field of Fight with General Flynn, the government has to go with the mind of the people. And so to really infiltrate patriotism into people's minds, to understand how close we were to losing it, did this operation, you couldn't put it right in our face. You couldn't go out and create your own news station or whatever they could do. But with this way, it's a movement, and once you're in, you never leave, in a way, because you're addicted to the truth and to freedom.
With that, guys, we've had an amazing time here with Where We Go When We Go Out Friday. Let's do our final thoughts, and let's start with LK Dark to Light. LK, final thoughts for Where We Go When We Go Out Friday.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's amazing what POTUS just did. Like, do you guys see it now? He wants people of all faiths to unite.
Yep.
Not like the evil Vatican wants in a one world religion, but in the way God wants us to. Our prayers are so powerful, and that positive human energy fights them in the spiritual realm. They wanted us to be afraid with this, COVID, and harvest that fear, but they can't like they used to, because we are waking up. And
it's like the ether that Shady was talking about earlier.
Yes.
Yep.
The plan is for us. We are the plan. The plan revolves around the fact that we will be loud, we will be proud, and we will find God and help people find Him. And the fact that we will stand up against Satan and his minions.
And we will be heard, LK. Carly, we're going to get out of here at 3 o'clock. Last words for Carly, and we're going to go head over to Christian Supremes. We got a field trip today. Carly.
Okay. All right, because I'm going to make this short and sweet and wonderful, and God bless everyone. Have a great weekend.
Periscope tonight.
Never lose your sense of humor.
No, we need it, kind of, Carly, right? And you're doing a great job. Love you, Carly. Periscope tonight, 6 o'clock, Carly, right?
Yeah.
Get over there. All right, now we've got, let's see, Christian. Christian. And then we're going to head out to your show right after this, brother. 3 o'clock.
Yeah, thank y'all again. But final thoughts. It's time for us all to come together, kind of like we've been saying, and fight these evil people that have been controlling us for way too long and keeping our power from us.
Amen.
The power that we have is incredible. In different aspects. We as humans are powerful, but us as Americans are very powerful as well.
And us united,
voice needs to be heard,
is even more powerful, my friends. So who else do we got here? JT, final thoughts. Then we got Shady.
Yeah, you guys' final thoughts are spot on. The fear, be not afraid. I even myself, I think maybe people think out there that I don't get afraid, that I act fearless, and I get afraid all the time, and I have literally made it a point to stop it, and it's really interesting that General Flynn posted that, because again, we're all getting on the same wavelength, where it's like, I am not going to be afraid to live my life. I am not going to be afraid to follow my dreams. I'm not going to have fear of living. And we do it in so many aspects of our life because we've been trained to do that. And another aspect of this new Great Awakening is right there. And
yep, we need the link.
Carly said it best too. It sense of humor. Laugh at yourself, laugh at them. They hate it when they're laughed at, because that means you're not afraid of them.
Amen to that. Well said. Wow. Shady Groove. Friday, Where We Go One, We Go Off Friday.
Yeah, I would like to get the mods, if they would, to drop into the chat here my pinned tweet because it's very important. I think it's going to be very relevant, and I have something to say. And I'm going to add some echo.
Uh-oh.
That whenever
Wait,
any
one
form
second.
of
I got to
government-
get it. YouTube, is it
that
the YouTube
whenever
link, Shady?
I'm not reading it. I'm reading something else.
What am I going to?
My pinned tweet.
Pinned tweet. Okay, I got that. I can do that.
Just to look at, but I'm reading something else.
All right, let me get there. Shady, I'm sorry, brother.
That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it's the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate the governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly, all experiences has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
Boom.
Where we go one, we go all, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Republic. The Republic is you. You are Q. The president is talking to you. We are the systematic destruction of the old guard.
Oh my gosh, Shady. Very, very well said, my brother. I had fun today. This was a great time. Did I leave anybody out? Did I forget anybody? Are we good?
We are good.
We are good. So with that, guys, we're probably going to head out of here. Looks like we got 1 minute and 42 seconds. Let's all go check out Christian Supreme. Christian, you've been doing a great job. Also, Muds, could you drop the Facebook group? Christian Supreme is doing a great job running that Facebook group. I drop in posts every now and again as well. But we've gotten some really good traction on that group. And I want to thank you again, Christian, for that. Couldn't do it without you, brother. And here we go.
Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
Our pleasure. And we're going to get out of here basically with the armor of God. Put it on. The enemy is active, guys. We got this, though. God bless you all. See you Friday. Q Lounge Live, Shady? Yes or no? Okay. We'll answer in chat. Oops, sorry, I got the wrong video. Jeez. Intro. Okay. I love you guys. See ya. Let's go over to Christians. Black, white, no difference. Happy Friday, everybody. Shady, you hear me? Q Lounge Live? Question mark? Feel free to jump in when you get